So a lot of people that I went to school with, when they see me now, they're like, is that Nora I went to school with? Like, she was so shy, but the fashion is really loud. As a Duffy role model, I always made sure it was at the beginning of my day because it really helps set my day. Like creating Pacific Fusion Fashion Show allowed us to create an opportunity for our designers to share our true, authentic stories in mainstream fashion. But for me, reading as a creative, it helps me to explore different parts of my brain. You know, you get inspired by other people's reading, it helps you develop your own processes. And so I think it was that rebelliousness in me that always made me experiment and try new things and try new combinations. So the main elements of styling, this is like the basics. So the first thing for me is color. So obviously here in Tab you can see color, right? This is a true representation of Pacific people, right? Very cool place. My name is Nora Swann. I'm a creative entrepreneur, New Zealand born, Samoan Niuean, born and bred Aotearoa, proud South Aucklander, married, 2 children, and recently became a grandma. So different season in my life right now. I've been running my own business for 15 years. Actually, no, that's a lie, 15 in December. So I've been in the space for a very long time. Founder of Pacific Fusion Fashion Show, founder of Dressed in Confidence, which is a wellbeing workshop where fashion is the driver. And then now currently co-chair Pacific Nations Fashion Alliance, so doing more work in the Pacific region. So obviously fashion is passion, it's cliche, but I own it 100%. And yeah, it keeps me busy, it keeps me out of trouble. So this year we're celebrating 10 years of Pacific Fusion Fashion Show, so it's really exciting. It's exciting to be part of New Zealand Fashion Week. And it really came from a need of not having true representation of Pacific fashion. So, you know, we had the likes of Cult Couture. Once those shows stopped operating, there was no place for Pacific creatives to tell our stories from a fashion perspective. So I put my hand up because I loved fashion to start the Pacific Fusion Fashion Show. So I was a Duffy role model for a good 5 years. And as a business owner, you know, you go through so many challenges. And so every time I went to a school as a Duffy role model, I always made sure it was at the beginning of my day because it really helped set my day. Like just being amongst the kids, really good energy, really happy. That helped me have the right mindset before I went and had my business hat on and had to go do business. So yeah, I loved when I was doing that, yeah. So a lot of people that I went to school with, when they see me now, they're like, is that Nora I went to school with? Like, she was so shy, but the fashion is really loud. And being in the industry that I'm in, I had to come out of my shell, otherwise my business wouldn't grow, right? And so I've done a lot of like growing and learning along the way, but yeah, very true yin yang kind of person. The Hungry Caterpillar, my ultimate favorite book growing up, and the reason why it still resonates with me to this day is that it keeps me young at heart, right? I feel like, you know, I'm obviously progressing in life now, but I think if you've got a young heart, you can take anything that comes your way.
I just got that book for my little one. So
oh, it's the best, the colours and the process that it goes through, and it really tells the story of life, right? If I was to only wear TAF at Pacific Fusion Fashion Show at New Zealand Fashion Week, this is what I would put together. Yeah. I do like this new collection that they've got out. Cool. So I'm just showing this is pretty cool, like the lining, Pacific. Pretty cool, eh? I've been really blessed. So being a creative, like you can create your day, right? And so I always feel like it's never the same day twice. You know, I was doing a few things. So there's Pacific Fusion Fashion Show. So obviously that's an annual event. And so we're right in the thick of it right now because it's next month. But then we're running Dressed in Confidence workshops throughout the year. It's in both public and private sector, so working within different industries. And then there's the different fashion projects that happen on the side as well. So it was always very different and perfect for me because as a creative, I can't do a mundane 9 to 5. That would just kill my creativity. So the fact that every day was different, it just gave more liveliness and livelihood not only to myself, but to an industry that needs a bit more attention than what it's currently got. And I feel like it needs people like me who are really passionate about fashion to help build the space, especially for Pacific fashion people. Okay, we've got the boxed weaved bag. flower, really important accessory that Pacific women generally love to wear. I think this is one of Tav's new shirts. It's got really nice detail in there too, which I quite like. Tav skirt and crop singlet. So I would underneath, I would knot it. I'd tuck that in. I'd show a bit of that headpiece bag. Ta-da! About 15 years ago, I entered a competition. So Clear magazine, which I don't know if it's still around nowadays, but they had a competition, Who Wants to Be a Fashion Stylist? So I entered it. Basically, you had to describe why you think you'd be a great stylist. In 100 words, I entered, and out of 4,000 entries, I won. And so I literally just described my very flamboyant wardrobe, and that, helped me win that competition. Yeah, that was pretty much it. Like, I had this love for fashion, and people always told me, oh, you've got a pretty good, fashion sense. And so that was the door that opened everything up for me. But I found that it was the opportunity, but it was so hard. Like, I started to get into the space and realize that, I don't have any educational background. It's more of a passion and a natural talent. But that was pretty much it, yeah. What's really funny is that I now know as an adult that it was the fact that I have like really intense black sheep energy. So it's like not listening to my mum. So my mum would say, wear this, and I'd be like, nah, I want to wear this. And so because I was very rebellious, I grew up in the Samoan church choir, to wear a uniform, I would be that person who's always pushing the boundaries, like adding something to the uniform that's not meant to be there. But at the time I thought I was being, but really I was just experimenting with fashion. And so I think it was that rebelliousness in me that always made me experiment and try new things and try new combinations. I read because it helps me to broaden my communication. As an introvert, I found that I tend to keep things on the inside. So reading has really helped me develop that. I'm inspired by other creatives. It helps me to build my knowledge and the way I look at life, the way I process things. So heaps of benefits of reading.